Hey everybody, don't get anxious, get prepared. Your career engineer right here. And listen, we're going to have this conversation about this new phenomenon. Every time I come up here, I feel like I'm saying there's something new happening in the employment space. And it is. So we've got these unretirees, that's what we're calling them, who retired, some right beginning in the beginning of COVID, some just recently because of the way things have changed. But for some reason, they're coming back. So get your pen and your paper ready. We're going to have a conversation about this today. If you're one of these folks, you might want to pay attention. If you're an employer, you might want to pay attention. Is this a good thing? Is it not so much a good thing? I don't know. Let's find out. I'll be right back. Told you, it doesn't take me long to come back. So listen, thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of us again. This is your career engineer. Don't get anxious, get prepared. And we want to make sure that you are just that. We want to thank you so much for being part of our TCE TV, TCE University, TCE period, so that you can get content delivered right to you with the latest and greatest tips and tricks to make sure that your career, your life, or business is awesome. So that's what it's all about. If you haven't gone to our website, do so. Join our newsletter. It comes out every Friday, loaded with tips and tricks. It's like me and your cup of tea Friday morning. So subscribe.tcenow.com and you can get a free gift. And by all means, like, follow, set the alert, subscribe, whichever platform you're enjoying this on. Now's the time to like, share, and follow so you don't miss a day of content, right? So we're getting what is up with these unretirees? What does this all mean and what's going on? So the job numbers, there'll be some numbers that'll happen after this broadcast, right? Because these new numbers come out every single month. But according to the latest DOL, as I'm talking to you right now, there's like 11.5 million openings, and it's been this way since this whole big quit, great resignation, great reshuffle, whatever you want to call it. But there was some data that had showed that with the way the numbers are, that there's like 5 million more jobs available than folk to work them. So it comes out to almost 2 jobs per person. Right. So if you're in the market and you're looking for something, according to the data and all the economists who are much smarter than me, say there's like 2 jobs for every person. We're outnumbered. By 5 million with the open jobs, 11.5 million. So this is a really unusual, uncommon time. So that has led to a few things with these unretirees. And we're saying unretirees because, again, they did retire. But for whatever reason, they've decided to come back under their own terms and conditions. So let me add that in. They're not coming back like the front of the house folks. They're coming back with some demands, some terms and conditions. So what's one of the first thing that's going on? Well, that COLA. Some of you are so far away from the word retirement. You might think COLA is that drink. No, I was trying to have some humor here. Cost of living adjustment, when you retire, and there are some folks that have been retired at the beginning of the pandemic, maybe even prior to the pandemic, but today's price of bread, today's gallon of milk is a little different, right, than it was a couple of years ago or even last month. So that cost of living increase that you get, a little adjustment, ain't quite keeping up with the price of bread and butter, right? So some of that has also brought folks back in. And what do we call that big word, big I word? Inflation. It's a higher price for everything right now. And when you retire, you join that wonderful pool of folks that are on a fixed income, right? And even though the COLA is here to help you, it ain't really keeping up with the high cost of everything, right? The high cost of everything. So that made a few of these retirees go, we need to find a way because, $8 for eggs was not a part of the computation, okay? What else is going on? Well, what we're also finding too, again, that whole work from home moment, even though some of these folks left, some left because it was their time. It was like, I'd done 30 years, I'm ready to go. The pandemic may have accelerated the dates by a couple of months. Others were in the middle of the pandemic, just did not feel that they wanted to go through all of this. And maybe they had 27 years and they decided, let's roll. And some, again, did like some others because there wasn't any conversation or ability to have some hybrid work models or some work from home work models. And they just were like, I am not feeling this. But coming back, coming back, some of our unretirees have been able to negotiate this. Or if you can't, like I said, not every job is a remote opportunity, but there could be flexible schedules. And the very thing that maybe they would have kept had they stayed there, they weren't able to get until they were unretiree and come back. So we're seeing that they're not coming in to work 9 to 5, 40 hours a week. They're not trying to join that party, but they may come on a contractual basis, maybe a couple of days a week. Maybe they'll cover the shifts that you can't cover normally, and maybe they're supplementing your staffing needs. And that has been so far like a win-win for some employers. It's been a win-win. And it's funny, we're saying, so where is this all coming from? Who can we blame this on? Now, there were some sources that really called this the Brady Factor, which I thought was really interesting. But let's just keep it real. My favorite Tommy, you guys know, I am a Patriot fan, diehard, a true heart, even though my heart left and went someplace else where it was warm. I'm still a Patriots fan, but this guy, I mean, he's the guy, my Tommy, right? But he did that, didn't he? He retired. In fact, he had a whole news cycle circled around what he was going to do. And he retired for 40 days. For 40 days, right? So we're calling this Tom Brady factor. I mean, he did it. We're going to blame all of this on him. That even though maybe that your market or your industry says, well, it's time for you to go. You've given at the office. You put in your 20 or your 25 or what have you, or the age limit says, and you thought, well, you know what? Maybe so. But now you figured out that you still have contribution. So the word for our unretirees isn't so much love what I do what I love, find a job that gives me value. They want to contribute. They still have got it to go. They realize, who says I don't still have it in the basement or still got it in the oven? I still got to go. And Tommy is going to show us again that he still got it. At the tender age that he's in, he unretired, and he's going to let us know he's still got to go. So the big word for those unretirees, or those of you who are thinking about, well, yes, I'm traveling, I'm doing my golf, I'm doing all those things, but I'm not ready just to sit here on the porch or sit here on the golf course or whatever you're doing. Like, you've done all that. You've had given 60 days of doing what that. Now, what do you do on Monday mornings? Well, you want to contribute. So you have this really unique way now that you can make some demands. You can share your availability. Does not have to be 24/7, 365. It doesn't have to be 2,000 hours a year. You can make some demands of when you come and when you go, and be that nice hybrid yourself to help with some of the shortages going on. And you also bring this uncommon, uncanny wisdom, particularly if you go back to where you left. We got some retirees actually unretiring at the place they just retired from. Who knew, right? So what's my push up for my unretirees, or those thinking about it, or the companies who might say, that might be something we can do. Let's reach out to the folks who retired 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, that still can bring some contribution to our places and spaces while we're going through this uncommon labor market. So what's my push up for my unretirees and those who want to hire them? Real life is all about what's next. I personally, editorial content here, I don't think I will ever retire, because I don't like that word retire. But I'm all about ready to do my what's next. I believe there's a what's next for all of us. So I am never retiring, but I'm all about doing what's next when this is over and finished. So that's something you got to think about. We're in a different place and space today. So I want to make sure you guys have an powerful week. If you have a question or comment, don't hesitate to put that comment or question in the box. Again, you can put it in the comment, or you can send it directly to me at our website. Well, info@tcenow.com, with tcenow.com being the website, but you could email me info@tcenow.com about this show, any content, a question you may have to help change your career, life, or business. Remember, we always say, don't get anxious, get prepared. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of our conversation today. And hey, if you're an unretiree, you're actually in demand. So thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and I will catch you next time.